You asked for the invoice price, the dealer showed it to you, and they still made money that you don't know about. Most buyers think cost equals invoice, and technically that is true. So you think, if I pay the invoice price, then I win. But hang on. By the way, my name is Cedric the Car Guy. I've got 25 years experience selling cars, and what I want to share with you in this video is the relationship between the holdback and the invoice price. The invoice price, that is your vehicle-based cost plus the freight or destination fees, then the advertising fees, then your dealer prep fees. All that equals the actual invoice price. The actual dealer holdback, that's generally 1 to 3% of the sticker price. I'm going to explain the holdback the same way it was explained to me. So let's say we have a vehicle and the MSRP is $35,000. Then the invoice, we're going to call that $33,000. And then the holdback, we're going to call that $800. So as long as the dealership, if the dealership hits all of its quotas for that particular unit, they would get the $800 per unit back all the way through for the quarter or for the month, depending upon the manufacturer and how they have it set up. So if the dealer sells the vehicle for the invoice price, then they can still profit because they're going to get paid back the holdback for all those units. Now in the car business, that's really known as like God's money. Like you don't talk about holdback unless you absolutely have to with the customer. So that's why you want to go ahead and do your due diligence, do your research so you know about things like this before you go into a car dealership. So as you can see, the invoice is not the floor for the vehicle price, and also MSRP isn't always the ceiling for a vehicle price. You have to do your research, you have to know the model, you have to know the region you're in, and you have to know the market and demand for the vehicle. Because once you do your research, that's going to give you way more insight to what you can actually buy a car for. Now I can tell you this, the pre-pandemic prices, we would start at like $500 to $700 over invoice because we already knew the customers walking in, they were going to want very aggressive pricing. I've seen $500 below invoice right out the gate. I've seen us sell cars for $1,500 below invoice, $1,800 below invoice, $2,200 below invoice. You got to remember at this time period, you would have 70, 80, white Camrys, white Corollas, these cars were coming out of our ears. So they were everywhere. And this was the same for every dealership within the same, 100-mile radius. So it didn't make a lot of sense to try to mark up the car or do anything like that. The customers that came in that were getting these deals, yeah, there were still some people paying MSRP, but there were a lot of people that were paying way underneath the invoice because they did the research. They got the quotes from the other dealers and they put them in our face. I can get this car for this price over there. What are you going to do for me to buy the car here? And that was the name of the game. If you close that information gap by doing your research and understanding what is the current market paying for these cars, that's the key. That's your leverage, is the information. Now to recap, it's all about information, not confrontation. So again, get quotes from dealers. Make sure you know exactly how many they have in stock and you use that to your favor. Know it for the dealership you're shopping with and for their competitors. And then know that trim level, that model, that vehicle. Know it inside and out. And then don't forget, you still have the holdback in your back pocket once you have all that information. Now, if you would like more information on how you can avoid all the games that dealerships play, I wrote a free guide. It's right here in the description. Just click the link and you'll go grab your copy. Well, I hope you found value in this video. And if you want to know which vehicle on the dealership lot has a secret incentive for them to sell, just watch this video right here.